clutch our pearls and laugh again. We all gather round, Kathy has a story to tell, our favorite comedian. Heifer, please, I don't have the free time unless you got the scoop again. Here for the gossip, rumor, and innuendo. I will live for today until the endless heaven buffet takes me away.
Hey there, true crime friends.
Hello.
Look who we have here. Paul. How are you, my friend?
I am doing just wonderful. Thank you for having me over, and thank you for coming over. Thank you for collabing and hanging out again. It has been a minute, and I was like,
Yes.
I told you before we chatted, I was like, there's so many times where I was like, mental note, I was like, can't wait to talk to Kathy about this, can't wait to talk to Kathy about that. And so I'm so glad that it worked out for us to talk today on the verdict day. This is just like, oh my gosh, absolutely crazy.
Perfect. Look, I took a shower and put on fresh pajamas for you. I'm
Well,
feeling
I
quite
feel
fancy.
Well, thank you. I put on a fresh one of my these are actually undershirts, but they're black undershirts. You know what I'm saying? So I put on a fresh one for
Comfy.
you. I changed after the gym and everything.
Comfy. We are all fancy tonight. Okay.
I know, right? I love it.
So Brian Walshe from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts was found guilty today. Where were you when you heard?
So first of all, I was here streaming, and it was funny because I was like, y'all, I'm gonna run, do my errands, I'm gonna keep the live chat going. Notoriously for me, whenever I leave the house is when major true crime stuff will happen or verdicts will come.
Of course.
So I'm doing it first thing in the morning. I'll tell you what, I got here while the dogs came and sat down, and the thing said, clock stopped. I was like, is this the verdict? This is the most perfect time ever. And it was the verdict. I was just like, oh, and they were so fast about it. I thought the judge was going to come out and be like, okay, at 2:00, we'll get together with it. They were like, cart him out. Let's go.
Chop. Chop. Right now, let's get this show on the road. I was stunned. I was sitting here actually getting some work done, and I was just like, do. And I had Emily D. Baker in one ear, or was I watching Recovery Addict? No, I was on Recovery Addict, and he was talking about whatever, and then he was like, well, wait, there's movement in the courtroom. And I'm thinking, okay, it's Monday, it's before lunch. That's kind of about when I thought they would come back. They had deliberated for 6 hours. And I was like, 6 hours seems about right if they're going to go through all the details. But like nobody was saying, like, it might be a verdict, it might not be a verdict. And I was like, I don't know what this is. And the judge came out and she looked like she could not have been more bored. And she was like, oh yeah, the jury has a verdict. I was like,
No,
I
know.
broke out. I love a verdict. I love a verdict.
Oh yeah. Well, another one about this one is I was so eager. I wish they had a face front camera on him, because I was like the whole time I'm like, I can't wait to see his expression. When I was very confident, but I was confident for a guilty verdict, but I thought it was gonna be second degree. So I was like, when they find him guilty, I want to see his face. And then I was surprised at the first degree, even though I feel like he was guilty of that. I felt like the jury was going to be like, oh, well, you know what? We didn't see A, B, or C, but we definitely think, second degree, whatever. So when they said first degree, cart him out back, I was like, okay.
I literally screamed out loud. I was just like, ah! Literally screamed out loud, because I thought, okay, they've absolutely gotten to second degree, right? But then I thought there's no way with nobody, and it's like the evidence could be kind of thin on first. At the same time, if these people live in this community, the idea of, I mean, maybe they're not thinking like the possibility of parole or whatever, but if you know nothing about this case and you come in and you hear this fact pattern, it's like, oh, this dude is a straight psycho. And do I want him to ever have the chance to get out? I don't want to run into him at the Stop and Shop or whatever. Like, no way, no how. So
Mm-mm.
Let's just tuck his behind away in prison for the rest of his life and not have to worry about it. Done and dusted. I was so excited.
I know. And look, Ginger just made this comment saying, "Can you imagine something to this effect? Can you imagine the jury that's going home and looking this case up now?" I didn't even think about that because I'm like, some of them are looking up like, wait, what? They're like, he pled guilty to what? He got
Right,
stabbed. He did what?
right,
He had mental
right.
competency. Like and then they're gonna be like, what was this about eBay? What was this about his dad? Like, they're gonna be like, what? This is what I think happened the first day. I think they went back in the jury room. Okay, you know that show? Well, there's two shows. There's one where like it's a pretend jury, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Hey, it's actually fake. We're all on a TV show. You're the real juror." Or the prison shows they do. I think they probably went back there for that whole day and was like, "Which one of you is like this can't be real? Like, who is
Right.
the actual person here? Where's the cameras? None of this is legit. With this is
Yep.
some reality TV show. There's no way this dude is
Yes.
real."
For sure. It was those Google searches. Honest to goodness, the Google searches alone, I was like, he's gonna be convicted on the strength of those Google searches. Like, it's just too crazy. It's too like, dear Google. And they were so specific. How do I disassemble a body when there's a murder? Sarah. He didn't Google on incognito. He didn't try and make it
Nothing.
a little bit better. Like, oops, my wife fell down the stairs. Now what? Nothing.
Nothing.
He seems so nonchalant about cutting this lady up. You get mad and you stab somebody. Part of me feels like that I would like to think that wouldn't happen to me, but that could happen. You in a fit of rage, you do something terrible. But to cut somebody up, I can't. I
Oh
can't,
no.
can't, can't.
That part was just like, yeah. Jessa says the murder site did it for me. It was laughable. That's why I was like, I bet the jury thinks they're on a TV show. And
I'm
how
telling
he sat
you.
there, I would never have been able to look anybody in the eye if I was him in that courtroom. I would have been under that desk. I would have been like, look, just take me out back. When they read the first few things off, I would have been like, no, Judge, I'm sorry. I changed my mind. Go on, just take me out back. I'm good. Please don't read the rest of these things. I would have been
So
horrified.
embarrassing. So embarrassing. And his defense attorney, who, bless his heart, was like, a terrible, unexpected thing happened. I wanted him to say, yeah, he stabbed and killed her. Like, that's the terrible, unexpected thing. He stabbed and killed. He's like, and when the worst happens, like he sort of kept talking around it as though the terrible, unexpected thing was a sudden, unexpected death. And I'm like, right. When he suddenly and unexpectedly stabbed her. Yeah, that was terrible.
I mean, yeah, and like, and again, yeah, the poor defense attorney guy, because it's like he can only work with what he has, and I'm
Yes,
just like to get up there and have to sell that story, to be like, okay, well, he went up there, and what was it that Lori always said, Lori Daybell, a family tragedy, a terrible family
yes,
tragedy, or whatever. And
yes,
people are saying
yes.
that, like, oh, we're at the it's a family tragedy part of this case. And I'm just like, I can't, and the jury had to be like, when they could talk, like, wait a minute, I don't understand. Why didn't he talk about this part? Because of whatever that was, and I don't know the legal stuff. Maybe Josh helped you out with this part. Whatever maneuver he tried to do where he pled guilty, thinking that was going
Yeah,
to do blank and with the evidence, whatever. But then it came off as so disjointed. And like, I know too much about the case to be able to perceive what the jury's seeing it as. But to
yes,
me, I'm
yes.
like, the jury has to be like, wait, what? This doesn't make sense. Why are they barely talking about this? But then they're over
Right.
here and they're not really talking about it. Just seemed like it would be this big gray zone situation.
Yeah, I mean, Bookworm 7006 says, how did he think his explanation was reasonable?
Good question.
We're trying to apply logic to something that is entirely
Yeah.
illogical. He seemed so calm about it, like, okay, this unfortunate thing happened where I sent my wife off to the Endless Heaven buffet, and I did what you do. I Googled how to disassemble her, and so I did that. And let's see. Then I told my Alexa device to add certain things to the shopping list. Like he had a paper shopping list all written out. Like, okay, you're going to need some buckets. and you're going to need some rags, and you're absolutely going to need a Tyvek suit and some plastic sheeting. Like, these are not normal behaviors. But
Mm-mm,
he's clearly not a normal person, not on any level at
mm-mm.
all. So crazy.
Now
But
another go ahead, go ahead.
go, 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 go.
So another thing with him I was gonna say is obviously the craziness of this, that, whatever. When they would start going over the stuff, and like you said, where it's like, okay, so something happened, even if he said, like, I came home and she was with another man, I choked her out or whatever. When you start talking about insane words that conjure images up, hacksaw, hatchet, so the Google searches alone, dismember, and you're like, what? But then you apply, it would almost have been, no, I'm not trying to say it would have been as bad, but if it was like, okay, yeah, he killed her and then did that, but he's trying to talk about, well, I just went upstairs and she was dead. And it's like, so your next thing was to get a hatch saw and a hatchet? That's so grisly and chainsaw massacre. Like, that
Like,
doesn't even, like, how could you
Sarah,
do that? Huh?
911 never crossed your mind. You were just like, what is it that you do? And his defense attorney was like, he was Googling things and he kept getting answers like, call a funeral home, call the police. That's not what he wanted. It took him 6 whole hours to start entering murder into the Google searches. It's like, are you saying that like I was being punked? Like, these
Literally.
can't be real questions. These cannot be real questions. Like, what are we doing right now? It was nuts.
But he also didn't
Nuts.
waste any time talking about insurance money, talking about, can I use the credit? This is one. My wife's missing. Can I use a credit card? I'm like, who would know at this point? Why does it even matter? You probably are using it already. Like, I mean, it was like he wanted to get caught. I kept saying, I'm like, this is a humiliation ritual. I was like, it has to be. Like, that's the only thing for it at this point. Because I'm just like, no,
Yes.
nobody's gonna even question some of the stuff that he's doing. So interesting to see where his mind went when he thought that he was like totally being incognito, like not on his device with the phone. I'm like, so this is where your brain, like, just it doesn't, yeah, it just is crazy.
Some of the things he said, in addition to the insane Google searches, some of the things he said, number one, on I believe it was January 2nd or 3rd, he said to his probation officer, I'm going to need to go and see my probate attorney. Sarah,
Yeah.
she just died. I mean, no, she's just missing at this point. You're like, I'm gonna go need to see my probate attorney. He was real nonchalant about this. And so I think either this was not his first rodeo with this kind of activity, uh, or two, he's a sociopath, which there's basically like 100% chance that he's a sociopath. But also, you could tell this is a guy who has not received a lot of pushback in his life, right?
Mhm.
Nobody is out here like, stop it, sit down. What are you doing, crazy?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And then two, where in one of the interviews with the cops were like at his house, I think. So in one of the interviews, they're talking about like, oh, she's missing whatever. And he's like, yeah, anything you need, bro. Yeah, anything you need. And then when they're like, well, we need your phone. He's like, well, hold on now. And like the cop finally had to say, I'm just letting you know, I'm reminding you, we're not investigating a crime. We're investigating your wife's missing. And it's like, okay, but I mean, and I'm just like, yeah, this from the get, the cops from the get go were like, oh, please.
They
And
were
when he
like,
was
oh,
like,
immediately.
oh, yeah. And he's like name dropping while they're there. And he's like, she had the Louis Vuitton travel bag. And the cop's like, what's that? I'm not a purse man. He's like, well, I mean, it kind of had to be. She had the Prada boots. I'm like, why you keep saying that?
My God. When they showed all the things that they found, like he was very much a name dropper, right? He just kept naming all these name brands. But the one that sort of shook me to my core was when they laid out all like they had when they went through the garbage and they found like all the tools in the garbage bags in the dumpster and they laid them out and you see like bloody cloths and knives and hammers and whatever. And then they had a scrub daddy, like the scrub daddy sponge, and the scrub daddy has the big smiley face on it, has like the two eyes with the smiley face. And I was like, The things that Scrub Daddy has seen. Scrub Daddy gonna need therapy. Scrub Daddy is like, please put me back in the garbage. I'm done. I would like to go to a nice peaceful landfill now because I need to cover my eyes.
Right.
Scrub Daddy been through things. He been through things. And I'm like,
And I guess too, if you judge from Brian, so I have no idea what it's like to dismember a body. I hope I never do. So I'm assuming it's not easy. And from what we've learned over the
yes,
years and stuff, it does sound like it's way harder when you get to that
yes,
stage of like, okay, because I'm thinking like, well, yeah, I mean, I can't even do a turkey, let alone, a human body.
mm-hmm.
So knowing that, that Brian, as dumb as he is, once he got into the act, he was like, okay, this is the only logical thing is to dismember her, and that's what we're doing. He was like so bad at it and so all over the place with it. And like
Yes,
that's why he kept going to get this and kept going to get this. Because I was talking about when he spent all that money buying stuff, I was like, this was an investment for him. This was like, look, this is an investment. I'm going to pay back on this one. I was just like,
yes.
the hardest he's
It was
worked in a
so
while.
honest to God. I mean, do we know of any regular job that he's ever had where he like had a boss who would tell him what to do? I can't imagine it.
Mm-mm.
And they say mama comes from all that old rug money. So she was just like, I will give you a couple $1,000,000. Don't worry about it. Like,
Mhm.
Mm-mm,
Mhm.
mm-mm. But look, we need to talk about mama. We
Yes.
need to
Yes.
talk about mama. Now, listen, there is a conspiracy theory going around about Brian Walsh's mother.
I'm
This
ready
is
for
part
this.
this is part of what we discussed in a live stream that I did yesterday with one Emily C. and Kimberly, who does not have a YouTube channel, but she's a court watcher. Kimberly was like, okay, I live in the local area. I'm going to go and sit in court. And she was nervous and she went and she sat in court, but there was nobody there. She went several days in a row and nobody was there. And so she decided to move up closer to the front because there was nobody there but Diana Walsh, Brian Walsh's mom. Apparently, Brian Walsh's mom, Diana, is way more murdery than Brian. With like, they said that it was like the temperature dropped when you got near her. She just was creepy. And instead of turning her head, she would turn her whole body like Lurch. And I was okay. Now, she has made it abundantly clear that she hated Anna. At the art fraud case, you're supposed to write like one of these letters that's like, oh, he did a bad thing, but he's like, come to Jesus and he's going to be a better person or whatever it is they say in these letters. Her whole letter was half of it was how much she hated Anna, and the other half was, I think most of it was how much she hated Anna, and the rest was how she couldn't live without Brian, that she would cease to breathe if Brian was taken away from her. When Brian had, every week, he had to report to his probation officer and say, okay, so this week I'm going to take the kids to school and I'm going to go grocery shopping. I'm going to get a haircut. He was saying all the things that he was going to do. He mentioned that New Year's Day, he was supposed to drive his mom home. It was later reported that his mother, after her cataract surgery, felt well enough to drive herself home. This conspiracy theory, and I'm calling it conspiracy theory because I don't have any proof. This is just what these two ladies said to me. They think that Diana Walsh killed Anna Walsh, that Brian went up to bed, Diana runs into Anna, who she really did not like, and she pushed her down the stairs because reportedly, allegedly, Diana is way more murdery than her son. And that she either helped Brian clean up because they were like, wait, just poking holes in the case, not saying it actually happened, but do we know who did the Google searches? Was it Brian or was it his mom? And I was just like, y'all are blowing my.
I can see it. I can see it. It almost makes it make more sense. Because, like, you know how she would definitely not know how the internet works and be like, you know, just on there,
Yes.
like, talking about, like, how do you chop up a body when you push them down the stairs and then kick them also? Yeah. How do you chop off your ungrateful daughter-in-law? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, she is
My God.
creepy.
It's my favorite conspiracy theory of all time. That they were saying that she just was like, oh, and the medium Tyvek suit. There were two Tyvek suit. If you look at Brian Walsh, he's clearly not a medium, but his mom
Absolutely.
might be.
Yes. Yes, that part.
So
Everybody's like, oh my God, Kathy had said this thing, and but you gotta hear it, and da 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 da. I'm gonna wait for her to tell me. But honestly, because when they said the thing about the Tyvek suit, I was like, wait, that is weird. Like, why would he do that? And then I was like, well, did he buy one that was the wrong size and figure it out and then get another one? Or
right.
was one for mommy? Because again, even before you get to the murdery part, there's this
Right.
very creepy Addams Family, weird mommy son vibe between the two of them. And it's just like
Yes.
the way that she like takes care of him as a grown, which I'm like this. I'm like, okay, if you've got tons of money and you want to help your kids, go for it, right? That's cool.
Right.
But this had Donna Adelson energy to it, that manipulative.
Yes.
You know, I'm doing
Yes.
this. My daughter-in-law, taking my man kind of vibe.
Yes.
Very
Yes.
Norman Batesy. DMB says yes, giving Norman
Yes.
Bates for sure.
All day. And apparently, like, he would greet his mother every day, but like, you think, okay, this is somebody's mom. They're going to be like, hi, mom, whatever. He would just bow to her.
It was so weird. He would just like kind of heads up or hey, and I'm just like, and she would just sit in there. Remember, I don't know if you saw the first day, she had this big horse brooch and this like big dramatic scarf, and she just sitting there. And then, you're right, that whole thing about, and I was just like, yeah, there's something just missing. So it's good that you got tea from somebody in the courtroom who could be there to see what the energy was like. So she was sucking
Yes.
the energy out of the room when she went in.
A total energy vampire. And then also, they were saying that Jim Mutlu, the friend that was there the night before, that because I was like, what's the deal with this like leadership academy or whatever that I guess Anna had gone to it, and then Brian and Jim met each other at this leadership academy. Apparently they had all these like catchwords and phrases or whatever. It was very MLM-y. Um, and then after Jim testified, he went and he sat back in the audience, and he was like hugging all these women, and all these women were all over him. Apparently, that was quite a scene that everybody was just like hugging and crying and a million hands all over each other. I was like, they made a cuddle puddle in the court. Okay.
So weird. So was it like people from
Okay.
like his group of that was it like a cohort
That-
of those people?
Yeah, those leadership people. Apparently, Jim Mutlu he's a real estate agent. He's a successful residential real estate agent, but he hires women to work with him. And they're all like these really beautiful women, like very sort of selling sunset, where they're selling like an image and a lifestyle and all this stuff. And they use all these like culty, catchphrasey kind of words. I was like, I went from thinking like, oh, Jim, he's so sweet. That's so wonderful, to like, what in the cult nonsense is happening? Oh my God.
That is why. Yes, we missed a bunch of stuff from the courtroom. And to
Yeah.
know that there was like nobody in there, that's so weird. Right. I
Yes.
figured when this came up, I was like, oh, this is going to just be this crazy trial because this has gone on for a year. Oh my God. And maybe it's because it's the end of the year. And see, I also forget too with these trials, these ones we kind of talked about this before we went live, where they get pushed off and pushed off and pushed off and pushed off. And
Yeah.
it's like, okay, you start following it from the beginning. And so to me, I'm just like, oh yeah, Brian Walsh trial, like, blah, 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 blah. But then it's like, well, Paul, there's people who might have just gotten into true crime or they're not
Yeah.
following it like that. And so it's just another court case that comes up. And it's like, no,
Yeah.
this one's good. Like, this one's
I mean,
crazy.
It was supposed to be a 3-week trial. So if you think about a 3-week trial, like honestly, when I watch these trials, I don't watch. I mean, plenty of people are like, I want to analyze all the legal angles. I just want to hear what the regular people have to say. All the I did the DNA and I did steps 1 and 4 and she did steps 2 and 3. Whatever. I don't care. I don't care. I want to hear from the landlord. I want to hear from your next door neighbor. You got the lady who sat down next to Anna at the nail salon. I was like, girl, tell me every single thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to know all your dirty business. All the like technical, the policeman showed up to do X. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Opening statements, closing statements. That's it. I could fast forward through the rest of that nonsense if you want to know the truth.
Well, in this one too, like with the DNA stuff, and I get why they were doing it, but it was like
Yeah.
literally they were just like another person get up and be like, I went to the vending machine to get everybody coffee at one point, and I'm like, how many people were touching the DNA? I was so excited to get to the person that said it's Anna. I'm like, another person in the process. Oh my gosh! Like, I mean, they went through them pretty
Oh
quick,
my
but I was
God.
just like, okay, this is the one. This is the one. Here we go. And then she'd be like, well, no, actually, that's the next person who did that. And I'm like, no, we just want the tea.
I was like, we're
Please.
never gonna get to it. Can we have just the good parts? I want to watch just the good parts of the trial. And by the good parts, I mean the regular people, the police witnesses, unless the police saw something crazy, I am not at all interested. I'm glad that you did it. I'm glad that there's a process. All these processes should be in place. That doesn't mean that I should have to watch them. I just want that good. I just want the tea.
Now, also one thing that was interesting with this, so when this trial happened, one thing I realized about myself is that in my mind, I was thinking that I was mixing up Jennifer Dulos' case with this. And so when they showed the house, and granted, the house they were living in was a nice house, but I
Yeah.
thought that they lived in this big mansion. And I'm like, that's their house. I'm like, I
Ah,
thought they lived in this other thing and they had this and that. And I'm like, no, I'm mixing these up. So once we started figuring out or coming to light of like, okay, oh, so it's like, oh, that's their house? Okay. And so wait, they don't own it? And so wait, the
right.
mom pays for it? And I'm like, oh, hold on. And then like the pool and the disarray and the landlord being like, oh, they trashed that thing before the murder. And I'm just like, wow. Because at first I was like, interesting that they're living above their means where they can't maintain the home. But I was like, oh, they don't
Mhm.
own the home. And I'm
Yep.
like, oh, okay. So there's all that going on that I was just like, wait. And yet, did you see the pictures of the pool out back? I mean, it was
Yeah.
bad. It was bad, bad.
I'm like, this is what you do to a rental. Now, listen, I understand this man is living in this house with these 3 little kids. They're running around. He's
Yeah.
clearly, in my opinion, incompetent on every level. How she had 3 kids with this man, I will never know. Bless her, because he couldn't have touched me once. But I'm just like, okay. When the police came and the kids kept running up and asking questions and doing things, and he was just like, uh-huh. Yes, officer. So she's missing. No, no, no. Can you don't spit on your brother? Okay. Yeah. So the last time I saw her, she was wearing. No, no, no. Put the cat down. I was just like, oh my God. But I also think to some degree that was a tactic.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't have to solely focus on what the police were saying because he could keep being distracted by the kids. So
Mhm.
I was like, okay. And yeah, he had a nanny, but like that's not the same thing. What did he have? A 2, a 4, and a 6-year-old boys?
Oh, yeah.
I have raised 4 sons. We could have had 4 nannies because it's a lot. It's a lot. And it is not like the nanny lived in, right? The nanny came during like the day and whatever when he had errands to run. It was mostly him with those kids. The nanny probably picked up behind the kids and did a little laundry and went on with the rest of her life. They didn't have a living girl. I was like, mm-mm.
How about I'm gonna kinda switch over to another part of some of the evidence.
Yes,
How
yes.
about when the liquor store guy got up there? Number 1, when they showed his parking at the liquor store, and made sure the camera got every angle of that car, license plate, 20-point turn, and then it's like, gets out, walks the thing, and then they're like, "Oh, yeah, the store's closed." I'm like, "It's closed?" And he did that, like, the only car in the video, and then the dude's like, yeah, I mean, we knew him by name. He would just like come in, like hang out, like you didn't really have anything else to do. And I'm just like, what? Like and that's the place you chose to go and do the stuff after hours of that parking. That's why I was like, the jury has to be like, we're on a TV show, y'all. This isn't real. Like, I'm gonna fall asleep and see if the judge said something, and that'll tell us if this is real or not.
So incompetent. This seems to me like a dude who's not you. Nobody has ever put him in his place, right?
Yeah.
Mommy would always sort of like creep into the situation and be like, leave my baby alone or whatever. I can't imagine he's had a lot of pushback on anything in his life. He walks through life with people being like, you're so wonderful. What you did is perfect. You're absolutely lovely. And Anna, for her part, clearly loved this man. The letter that she wrote to the judge in his other court case, like, it was clear that she was like, I'm trying to help him be a better person. He's growing through this, this whatever community. He's growing to be the best version of himself. And then she was just like, Anna was basically like, his parents were crazy. His daddy, the whole story about the father leaving the mom.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
for chat, in case you don't know, dad was a prominent surgeon who left mom in like 1983, but they never got divorced. And so the mom had her money in her own right from her own family. And the family, they look, to me, this is a hood divorce. Y'all leave, stay separated for 30 years, but you never get a divorce. And the dad ran off with another guy. And in like 1983, which was wild to me, because in 83, like, if you think about gay rights, it was in 83, it was nowhere near where it is today. So I can't imagine his mom being super excited. Number one, to be left. Number two, to be left in a public way like that, where your prominent surgeon husband runs off to be with this other person, regardless of the gender of the person. That might have been a scandal for her. But now he's with this dude and he's all out loud and proud, just doing whatever all the neighbors know and everything. Child, they was talking about her bad.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm like, oh.
Man. Oh yeah, they were definitely.
And Brian felt justified in stealing money from his dad and pillaging his father's estate, because he's like, this is payback because this man humiliated my mother and humiliated my family. He was clearly what I call a son husband. When daddy left, Brian stepped right in and became the man of the house, and mama probably let him and treated him like he was gold, even though they're both clearly weirdos and scumbags.
Oh yeah. The other thing too, talking about how Anna was like, wrote that letter and, did all this stuff trying to help him, because looking at her, and I mean, we'll never know, of course, because she's not here and we only got limited testimony from friends and stuff, but you can look at it two ways. Superficially, on just a looks level alone, right? It's like, how did he get her? Then when you add in like, oh, here she came over here, she worked her way up from the bottom and like became successful, like completely opposite of him, which makes her even more attractive as a person, and even more so like, how did he get her? But probably then it was probably too late because they already had a kid. Like, she was like, probably at what point in the children did she realize, oh my God, this guy is a complete, loser, and I've hitched myself with him. So I'm going to make it work. I'm going to really, because I felt the vibe I got was like, she was going to try and make this work as best as she could. This is the father of her kids. She wasn't taking it lightly to be like, well, let me just run off over here. Probably by the end of it, she was like, look, I found Mr. Hot Stuff up here in DC. He's hustling. He's doing his thing. He's I don't know if he's like good looking or not, but he's this and that. Didn't he testify? Was he good looking? Okay, so yeah.
He looked like Brian looked like a Temu version of him. Like, he was more fit, he was thinner, he was way, way more successful than Brian. And I was like, oh, she doesn't go for like a guy who's like a hot guy with a hot body. He was a little bit frumpy, but I could see where she would be attracted to his mind, because he seemed very bright, very organized, very forward thinking. And listen, he was rocking her body real good, because according to her, she and Brian had not had any marital congress in over a year. And that little side boo was over there convening the legislature. So she was just like, ooh, he made my no-no parts real happy. And He's smart. He likes to work out. This lump on a log over here at my house in Boston. No, 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 no. So I was like, and a chat was asking who gets the kids. Unclear. I think right now the children are in foster care. That's what I heard. Have you heard anything different, Paul?
I've heard that too. Yeah.
That they're,
Which is
you know,
interesting. They don't need to be
Mama
with
Walsh.
with Mama Walsh at all.
No, no,
Yeah,
no, 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 no.
absolutely not. Yeah.
They definitely don't need to be with Mama Walsh. Their other grandmother lives in Serbia and their aunt lives in Canada. Before Brian's conviction, the aunt and the other grandmother didn't have standing because you can't take the kids out of the country. Now that Brian has been convicted, I would imagine that they'll be raised by the aunt if she, if she wants them. But they were saying, I think on Surviving the Survivor, Joel Waldman was saying that this case is huge, huge, huge in Serbia, and a lot of the news people, a lot of the Serbian press was giving like updates and stuff like that on the case. So
Really? That's interesting.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know how big a country Serbia is or anything like that, but I was just like, oh, a big splashy American case where one of their own who had come to this country and sort of made the American dream. She's buying $1 million house, she has this job, making all this money, beautiful, beautiful family, all the things you're supposed to want. And he does this terrible thing. It's awful.
So real quick, I just Googled Serbia. It's a little smaller
Mhm.
than South Carolina.
Oh, so a teeny little country.
Mm-hmm.
He
Which is
referred to her as
interesting.
a sturdy Serbian woman, and I was like,
Wait,
he
who
need to
did
go to jail.
Brian or the
Brian.
a
Brian
sturdy
did.
Serbian woman? I
He
mean,
stole her gift cards and referred to her as sturdy. Put him under the jail. I just, mm-mm.
now also on that note, so the evidence, girl, when they showed the footage, okay, the Lowe's, CVS, all this type of stuff. Okay, first of all, Lowe's where he's sitting there with the with the COVID mask and gloves on, and the cart with the dude sitting there helping, touching every bit of the murder kit, it's just all of it. And I'm like, why on earth would you? I mean, I like, how are we even here? Well, then when they showed the CVS, I said, watch, he's going to ask for an employee's help. Sure enough, guy came over to help him bring the stuff up. I was like, so the next footage they showed, I was like, get your bingo cards out. I was like, he's got to talk to one employee. He's got to either use a credit card. We got the COVID mask, the gloves. I mean, it was so stupid. It was just like, oh my God.
Useless. He is entirely helpless on every single level. Like, I understand some people struggle with self checkout. I personally adore a self checkout. Don't talk to me. Let me ring my stuff. And I hate it when the thing gets mad. I'm like, I don't know what it's doing. Can you fix it so I can go back to minding my business? He was just like, did you see the video where he realized that if you look at how much it costs, it would get your face on camera. So he's standing to the side trying to peek to see how much money he owes.
It's so ridiculous.
So bad at crime.
I
He's
mean, it's
so
so
bad at
bad.
crime.
Well, then I was wondering because they were saying how he paid cash for one thing, and I was sitting here like, Brian's the type where he would go up to the cash register with his mask on or whatever, ring part of the murder kit up on a credit card, then like take the mask off, do a different transaction, and pay with cash, thinking like, yeah, they won't be able to trace this stuff. I pay with cash for those 3 items.
Wait, or then swipe his frequent rewards card.
Yeah.
He's totally the guy who's gonna be like, I'm gonna save that 3 cents. Boop. Like,
it's the principle.
these buckets are buy one get one. So can you help me with the BOGO? I'm gonna need help with the BOGO because I need to partake in the BOGO. Like, Sarah.
One of the dudes in our
Yeah.
chat room when we were doing it, we were making jokes like that or whatever, and he was like, he said that Brian was like, do y'all do price matching here? Like price matching stuff with Home Depot. I was like, at this point, he needs to like roll up in there just with a foghorn, announce his presence to everyone possible in the store. I was like, I cannot.
if I could save a nickel. And here's the thing that's crazy. Most people are murdering on a budget. People are down at the Walmart. They're like, look, we're gonna get this is a 50 pack of zip ties. I only need like 4. Can I just buy 4? What was the movie where the guy was like, I want 1 rib and a sip of soda? That's like most people are out here at the Walmart like, ugh, we don't need a 3 pack of these. Let me get the single individual. Like Brian is like, just give me all the things. $500 at Lowe's. $500.
I'm telling you, it was an
That's too
investment.
much.
It was an investment for him. Okay, he was just like, I'm getting a return. I'm looking at like a 10% return on this. He was like, no, cost is 2, whatever. We'll get all 10 buckets if we need
Oh
to.
my God. He's like, what is the correlation between how much you spend on the cover up and can you get out of prison? That's the math that I need to do. Let me carry the 4. Let me do some long division. Like, sir, no. And based on the stuff he bought, I'm surprised he didn't gas himself to death because some of those chemicals, if you mix them together in the wrong proportions, it makes like, you can make like poisonous gas and stuff. I was like,
He'd be stupid enough to sit there and do that where he mixed ammonia and bleach or something, pass out, her body halfway dismembered, wake up, call 911, have them come to the house, and still take it to trial and try to explain his way out of that one. Oh no,
like,
I
see,
passed
no.
out. I don't know what she did. I just woke up
She
and she was
fell
like
down
that.
Right. I was just
She
like,
fell down the
fell down the
stairs.
stairs into parts.
She
Mhm.
just fell apart.
Look,
I'm just as upset.
clearly somebody has broken into the house and disassembled my wife. Please let me clear the cache on my computer before you take it though, because I'm trying to wait. When they said they saw on the kid's iPad all these Google searches, he was just like, they were like, sir, what about all these crazy Google searches? He was just like, they said, and the kids were asleep. He was like, you don't know if the kids were asleep. Sir,
Yeah.
sir.
You
Your
know the
kids are not
cops.
visiting the murder website. I promise you.
That took me out. Or the article that he went to, 11 pages deep in it too. I was like, who even they make articles that long anymore? That's like a dissertation. That's an encyclopedia, right? Like on the internet.
Wait.
At first I thought
Yes.
it was like, Google searches was like page 1, page 2. I thought they said he was on page 11 of a Google search. I was like, honey, if you get to page 2, that's some serious stuff right there. Page 11, your life is on the line. You are fighting for your life on page 11.
I'm telling you, when they started talking about the adult website search, and the defense attorney was like, well, I started because you can't say PORN on the tubes of you. So people call it, corn or corn hub. I was like, he was down to the farmer's market because look, y'all not gonna strike my channel. I was like, he was over there on the farmer's market looking for stuff. And they were like, he found this very, very specific movie that was like, why
the only movie ever made with that title.
The defense attorney was just like, maybe that was his favorite actress. Technician, have you ever visited the farmer's market? Do you know about these titles? I was like, no, he did not. Just ask this police officer about his nudie naked searches on the internet. Like, sir, no. We won't stand for it. Also, that cop sat up there and lied. I don't go to the farmer's market. I don't know anything about that website,
right?
Sir.
Like he was going to get up there and say that with his wife somewhere like, yeah, I mean, I was on there just 10 minutes ago in the bathroom before I came out here, and this is how it worked there. It's like, dude.
Right. I did wash my hands. Like,
it's like, actually, I've never even heard of this until this case. It was so interesting.
Sure.
Like he's looking it up by the actress's name. Like he even knows that. Yeah, that was like so specific. And I was just like, so he's like fetishize the situation with his wife. Like, I'm like, this is like a whole new layer here of like, what is going on here?
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it was so weird. That whole
Wait,
component was so weird.
actress was Scarlett Scandal, and I was watching it on Emily D. Baker, and so she looked up the actress. Was
Did she
like,
look like Anna?
no, she was a black lady or like a biracial lady. And I was like, oh, Brian likes the sisters. Run, black girls, run. You are not safe.
I
If you
love that
see this
Emily
one
looked her up.
coming, it was so funny. It was so funny. Looked nothing like Anna. And then the defense attorney was like, well, I mean, how long was he on the website? And the technician was like 7 minutes. And I was like,
7
I would
minutes.
have thought 2 would have got it done, but okay.
I know, right? Yeah, that was what was so like. I think what started taking place is, I mean, obviously, I think Brian's a grifter. I think he's a scumbag, and I think he always
For sure.
has a plan going, a grift going, a whatever going. I
Mhm.
think he viewed Anna as like a little trinket on his, Louis Vuitton bracelet. She was very
Yeah.
good
Yep.
looking. She was a prize. She was out of his league, and then when he
Mhm.
started seeing the writing on the wall, this whole thing came with this case, the federal case, all
Yep.
this, his life is coming to unravel. She's going to DC, she's going to do this. And he has mommy over here in the ear, talking about like, oh, she's blah, 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 blah. No, I have to recalibrate all that thinking and the thought process of mommy killing her instead. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Mhm.
Um, but on that same note, that's where I think so. Like, let's go with like he did it, whatever, or the mom
Right.
helped, whatever. So I think that it was pre-planned, but not like in the way of massive pre-planning. You know what I'm saying? Like
Agreed.
it was almost like a
Agreed.
semi last minute pre-planning, and last minute could mean a week to two. But he's probably always the type that he's always thinking of. Well, yeah, I mean that insurance policy if something ever happens to her, you know what I mean? Like so, it's like this in the back
Mhm.
of his mind, the thing's going, and then it just kind of all spun out all of a sudden, like whatever
Yep.
took place, whether it was like just time for it, or she said something, or whatever happened.
Yep. Yep. I feel like it was sort of, I don't think I agree. I don't think he had a fully fleshed out plan. I think somewhere in the back of his mind, he just was like, okay, what are my options here? When he Googled Anna Walsh found dead, I was like, oh, he's floating that balloon out there just in his head. Like, think about it. Before you do anything, you start saying, think I'm going to buy a new car. Long before you start looking on websites, or you just start thinking, you know what? I really would like a new car. And then suddenly you're noticing all the new cars in the area, or, whatever. I think I want to move. I think I might start a YouTube channel. You just sort of float it out there
Mhm.
to see how it feels in your mouth. And so when he Googled Anna Walsh found dead, I was like, oh, that was him floating his little trial balloon, even if
Mhm.
it was on a subconscious level. And then he started getting this information. The mom comes to him and is like, I have a private investigator who says she's cheating. And then Anna says, I don't know if I'm still in love with you. Then he finds out concrete information about the lover. Anna wants to take the kids. I think it was like the steady drumbeat of like one thing and
Mhm.
another and another and another. And he's like, "Oh no, girl, you're not gonna be without me. You
Yeah.
about to disappear." And
Yep.
then that's what happened, in my opinion, based on what I feel in my spirit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think definitely that's yeah, you nailed it. It was something like that, and it's again, he's so dumb with the internet searches. I think that if he was, like, pre-planned for a long time, we would've seen blatant, like, top 10 ways to plan a murder, you
Right,
know,
right.
Cosmo BuzzFeed article, "Should you kill your wife? Take this quiz." You know what I'm saying? Like, he'd be doing all the stupid stuff like that.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and it ate him up when it was like her boyfriend or whatever, when he officially learned about that. Oh, that would have been a
Mhm.
major ego blow to someone like him.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. Oh,
and then if
yeah.
his mom knew about it too, which I'm sure he
Forget
told
about
her.
the humiliation.
Mhm,
But also think
uh,
about it. They went on and on. The defense went on and on to say they got a very narrow window of searches. They searched from like Christmas Day to a few days after New Year's. Maybe he was searching all these other terrible searches before Christmas Day,
Yeah.
maybe a month ago. If he had all these terrible searches before then, there would be no way to know. So who knows what he did that you in any story, the part that comes out in court is always just the tip of the iceberg. We find out all of these other things later after the fact or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Honest to God, my greatest fear is that those jurors will give interviews because what we've seen lately is that the jurors give interviews and every word they say shows up in the appeal. So as
Yeah.
much as I want to hear from them, I'm like, I hope none of them say anything. Just be quiet and going back to your regular life and talk crap with your friends over lunch. Cause
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm really curious. So, you know, like the channels who would get like the jurors on and people like that, whatever. Like, I'm very curious to see because I'm sure someone's gonna talk, right?
oh
To
yeah,
see
oh yeah.
what they have to say. Of like, can you imagine when you got back there and it was the first 30 minutes of you get back in the jury room, it's gone to the verdict, whatever, and you can actually talk to each other about it and be like,
Yes.
what are y'all serious? Like, what did we just see? How,
Yeah.
why, when, where? I would have had
Yes.
so much to say, so much to say. And
Oh
even
my
like,
gosh.
go ahead, what?
No, 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 no. Go. I just
Oh,
was saying,
God.
oh my gosh. Yeah, absolutely.
So then, like, even sitting in the courtroom, like, this is one thing when you sit here with these trials, and I get it's a different vibe when you're in there, it's a different energy and all that.
Right.
But like as a juror, I'm just like, man, can you imagine even a chair like this? Imagine sitting in this for 8 hours during the daytime, listen to this stuff, listen to the lawyer stomp around there. You're over here watching Brian, and the judge comes up here. Okay, everybody. She was so nice. She ran her courtroom so lovely
Yeah.
and was like very keeping the jurors informed. This is how this is
Mhm.
going. I felt like this vibe of like, I mean, she wouldn't say this or whatever, but almost like they know, right? She knows all the stuff behind the scenes of what's going on with this case. She knows this is an absolute ridiculous waste of taxpayers' money. This guy is a monster. I pray this jury gets
Yep.
it right. Blah blah
Yep.
blah blah. Blah. And even her little comment when Brian pulled his little stunt about, okay, I'm not going to testify, and she was like, okay, so we don't need to go over all the motions that I researched last night. That's fine, but just want to
You
make
know she's
sure.
sick of him.
Oh,
She's sick of him. I'm dying to hear what she has to say at sentencing. Like,
I
now look,
know.
I have kept my mouth shut, and now it is time for me to unload on this Mama Luke. Wait, we are running short on time. We are down to our last few minutes, but we have a bunch of starred chats over here.
Go for it. Go for it.
Let's see. Madison Jewel is a new member. I don't even know if that's your channel or mine. I think I see the little thing. I think she's a new member on Reporting Live from My Sofa.
Yay. Thank you, Madison.
Emily gifted 5 Reporting Live from My Sofa memberships. Yay, yay,
Thank you,
yay.
Emily.
Sherry Frenchie, mom of 2. Wait, I got to scroll down a little bit more. 8 months a member. Love when you two collab. Thank you, thank you. We love collabing. Mrs. Parks, who is always in the house, a member for 27 months. I've had memberships
Wow.
for 27 months. That seems
Kathy's like, has the
crazy.
channel been open that long?
Honest to goodness, Mrs. Parks was like my first channel member, I think. She
That's
said, the scream
awesome.
I scrumped at guilty of M in the first. Me too. Oh my God. Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. Facts, 100% facts. My father's alibi with the $5 super chat. I'm still laughing about the syndrome that causes the descendant to drive 3 times around town at Parallel Park after death. Yo, wait, we need to talk about my father's alibi. I don't know if you know this. Allison Galvani, my father's alibi, her father was recently arrested. The scream I scrumped in the middle of Times Square. I'm walking to work, right? And I have my little headphones in and I'm listening to Dateline. And they were like, I don't know her daddy's name. Mr. Galvani has been arrested. I was like, "Ah, that is Allison's daddy. Natalie Morales, the lady from Dateline NBC was talking about it. And I clutch my invisible
Oh my
pearls while
gosh.
walking in the cold, cold weather. Yes, she was her father's alibi, thus the screen name, My Father's Alibi.
Oh, that's
Although
fascinating.
it's wild. Her mom is Nancy Galvani. We talked about, she and I sort of emailed back and forth a little bit about it before any of that happened, but the case was not developed enough. And I was like, when we get more information, if that case goes to trial, I will definitely cover the trial. It's still a little bit too far out for me, but it's a fascinating story.
Oh, it
Fascinating,
sounds
fascinating.
like
And
it.
it's wild. Okay. K Bush 5026 with a $20 super chat.
Thank
Kathy
you,
and Paul,
Kay.
I am in heaven, heifer.
Thank you, Kay. You're always so sweet. Oh, hairball.
Hilarious. Hairball yarn. And he paid at Home Goods with gift cards.
Uh,
With a gift card. With her gift cards.
of
He should
course.
be put in jail. That is theft. She returned some items to TJ Maxx or whatever, and then he went to Home Goods and used her gift cards. My gift cards are sacred to me. Prison. That he violated. That's marital vows he's breaking now. Let's see. This is Forever Wander. Member for 13 months. Murder. Blogspot.com. You know we should look that up. Paul, can you pull that up while I'm still reading
Yeah, yeah.
this? I wonder if that site is still up. Hana Ali with the $4.99 super chat. Reason the conspiracy theory doesn't make sense to me is Diana was in their house because she had cataract surgery. That Mama Luke couldn't see well. Well, if they removed the cataracts, that means her vision came back. So I'm thinking she wasn't seeing well. She could see clear enough to push Anna down the stairs. Allegedly. We don't know. It's a theory. It's just a theory of the crime. Um, let's see. Hairball yarn with a $4.99 super chat. Now I can't stop
Oh,
thinking
thank you.
about trying stuff out in my mouth. Thanks. That's how you do it. You're like,
Thanks, hairball.
whenever my friends start saying, I'm gonna leave my husband, I'm like, okay, 5 years from now, she gonna leave her husband. She just trying it out in her mouth first. She's seeing how it feels. That's the way that goes. Let's see. Hannah Ali 912, member for 2 months. It was premeditated. He called his parole officer the week before for his schedule and didn't tell her that the kids didn't have school, so he had time. 100%. Janae Taylor, 5 gifted memberships to Gossip, Rumor, and Innuendo. Congratulations, new members. Oh my God. Batten down the hatches, new members. Things get crazy in the back room. Unicorn Ranch, member for 6 months. I love this collab more than I love coffee. That's a lot of love. Peachy Keen, 5 gifted memberships to Reporting Live from My Sofa. Thanks, Peachy Keen. Okay, I can never pronounce this. Love y'all. That's what she said. I'm not gonna mess up that name. Thank you, girl. I've seen her in other channels, but I'm just like, I'm gonna need that phonetically. Um, Wait, my father's alibi says false alibi. Yes, because I read the story. She was at her uncle's house the night her mama disappeared, and daddy said he had that baby, but he did not. We will get, as that story gets closer to trial, we will do a deep, deep dive on Mr. Galvani, whose first name I do not remember. But wait, here we go. Wait. Mbatik, probably. Okay, that is a good guess. Mbatik. I don't know. Um, Before we go, Paul, we have a special collaboration coming up that we should probably mention. In fact, I just got another, I don't know if this is a text or an email. Oh, it's an email about it. You want to tell the good people who is going to be on our joint live stream and what special day
Yes.
it's happening on?
Yes, yes, yes. Yep. Sorry, I unmuted myself, y'all. Sorry, that's just how I roll. So yeah, New Year's Eve at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Myself, Kathy, Tanika's 2 cents, and Dr. Barry are all going to do a live chat together to bring in the new year, talk about like probably whatever. I think it'd be fun just to kind of be like, hang out, talk about all the crazy cases this year, laugh, have a good time. But yeah, 3 p.m. New Year's Eve, Kathy, Tanika, Dr. Barry, myself. It is going to be fun. We've talked about it over the time of like, we should all get together. We should all get together. And now it's finally happened. I can't, it's the only reason I'm looking forward to New Year's Eve. It's the most exciting thing that will happen because I'll be in bed by 7 o'clock that night. So
Trying to tell you. Same.
Yeah, so be on the
Wait,
lookout.
and we have a proper pronunciation. It's Mbahati Kumba. Mbahati Kumba. I've seen Umbahati Kumba on, where have I seen her? On Francois's channel, probably. I don't know. I've seen her somewhere because, like, I know the name. I can hear it in my ears. I just couldn't make it come out of my mouth. But yes, so we hope everybody will join us on New Year's Eve.
Thank you, Emily.
Some of your true crime favorites. We are all fans of each other. Tanika of 2 Cents fame. I hope she will bring those cute little babies. It's the middle of the afternoon. Sugar Bear will probably be at school. Who knows? Anyway, we are all getting together on New Year's Eve to have a little kiki. And then I have a couple of live streams coming up. Prof. Joe Explains is coming to my channel on Wednesday night. She's a frequent guest on Surviving the Survivor. Professor Joe Patuto will be joining me to chat about her new channel. And Brandy Churchwell is coming to Gossip, Rumor, and Innuendo to talk about her new podcast. It's not that new anymore, but she recently covered Travis Rudolph's case. Brandy is currently scheduled for Friday, but my son's surgery just got moved from tomorrow to Friday. So I have to call Brandy and reschedule. I will tell you where that's going to be.
Ooh.
Lots of good stuff coming. Do you have any other collabs aside from New Year's Eve? Do you have any other collabs coming up?
No, I haven't planned anything up other than just the standard kind of stuff or whatever. So yeah, I don't have it. It's just little old me right now.
Everybody and their brother is like, live stream, live stream, live stream. And I'm like, there's not enough days in the week. I do have a regular job.
I know, right? I know, right? Well, keep them coming.
I'm trying to squeeze them all in. I'm trying to squeeze them all in and stay employed. So we'll see how it goes.
Amen.
But everybody hit that like button, subscribe to both of our channels, Gossip, Rumor, and Innuendo, and reporting live from my sofa. And I think that's all. It's actually bedtime. It's 8 o'clock. Right?
Yeah.
I'm up in the middle of the night. This is not like me. I need to get some sleep. Thank you, everybody. And we'll see you soon. Hang on, Paul.
Thank y'all, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Dear true crime friends, we clutch our pearls and laugh again. We all gather around. Kathy has a story to tell, our favorite comedian. Heifer, please, I don't have the free time unless you got the scoop again. Here for the gossip, rumor, and innuendo. I will live for today until the endless heaven buffet takes me away. Yeah. Hey. The world is filled with chaos muppets that like people to kick the bucket from Idaho, Iowa, and everywhere in between. Heifer, please, boncation in the first degree. Heifer, please, come solve the case with me. Here for the gossip, rumor, and innuendo. I will live for today until the endless heaven buffet takes me away. Yeah.
Come here, not Spike. Come here, bye, not Spike.